Slightly. Welcome. Hello, hello. Welcome to Metaphysical Messages with the Magical Mother. Yay! So, so much has been coming through the past few weeks. Specifically, I've been taking Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Mondays off every week to spend in nature, to connect with my kids, and to just receive information, wisdom, be very present. So I want to just share that today is going to be kind of the insights, the experiences that I've been going through, that I feel like we're all kind of shifting into this new space. If you would like to be a part of kind of the more interactive of this Facebook Live, I do have a Zoom going right now. If you're in the Magical Mothering Facebook group, you can go into the Facebook group, Magical Mothering, click on the link there, the Zoom link, and then you can actually be a part of interacting. You can go on video. We can have some more interaction and play a little bit more together. So that is what's happening with this Facebook Live. So for the past going on 6 years now, I created a business called Magical Mothering. And Magical Mothering, I thought, was about, hey, Robert and Karen, I thought Magical Mothering was really about this aspect of bringing in a new way of parenting, of creating a more spiritual practice with your parenting. I thought it was very physical because that's where my mindset was. And it's taken me this long to really realize that I am really the embodiment of the Magical Mother. I have literally worked with thousands of children, both real children, hey Sarah, both real children as a nanny and inner children through working with adults. And I realized that through this work of this magical mothering work, that I had to really step into my value, my worthiness stuff. I've had to do a lot of work around my worthiness stuff. And I feel like this message really needs to get out there. There is so many, hey Sandy, good morning. There's so many amazing, magical people that are connected to me, we're really connected. And each one of you that I'm saying good morning to is one of those really amazing, magical people. I see your feeds, I see your beauty, I see the magic that is trying to shine through you. Hey Tutu. And once again, just an FYI, you can hop over into the Zoom call that is happening simultaneously to this Facebook Live. And if you have anything that you'd like to actually interact with, if you have anything that you want to share, if you would like to do any sort of interactive work, or you have a question, if you have a message that you would like to receive from the Magical Mother, from the Divine Feminine, I'm going to be doing a little bit of that today. So we're going to be playing around with a lot of the metaphysical, more so than just the physical. Hey, Pierre. And I think I saw Crystal pop up. Hello. So if you have, hi, Dawn. If you have messages that or questions that you would like to receive divine wisdom through from the Divine Feminine, from the Ascended Masters, if you'd like to receive wisdom from your higher self, I'm going to be really playing today with all of this. This is not something that I usually do in my Facebook Lives, but I'm really being called to bring some of those higher vibrational frequencies through and really deliver these messages for individuals right now. And so if you have a specific question, that you would like answered, please ask it. You can ask it right in the Facebook Live comments. If you would like to hop over into the Zoom call and I can actually see you and we can interact, everlasting energy, that's what the plants are for. I can get into that, absolutely. So if you want to be on the Zoom call, just go into the Magical Mothering Facebook group. It's facebook.com/groups/Magical Mothering. Hey, Nancy Joe. So today is really going to be messages from the Divine Feminine, our Magical Mother. And I'm being really called. And as you can tell, I'm like actually nervous about this. I had the most life-changing experience over the past couple of weeks of really realizing that I'm an embodiment of the Universal Magical Mother. She is our highest chakra. She's our 13th chakra. It's the chakra above the Ascended Masters. And this pulls at all the worthiness things within me of like, I'm not worthy. I feel like Wayne's World, I'm not worthy. And it just, kind of is one of those things that really awakens within me everything that is stirring. Hey, Wes and Linda and Guyleen. So if you have a specific question that you would like a message from the Divine Feminine or the Ascended Masters, if you have a question, if you're having any sort of things going on within you that you would like some guidance. Yesterday on a call, you had your awakening. Yes. I realized that I had a shamanic journey almost 8 years ago now that really reignited this remembering process, the remembering of the lives that I lived. One of my earliest lives, it could have been one of my first lives, I was a Lumerian priestess. I was murdered in that lifetime and I was betrayed. And ever since then, I have chose jobs that keep me very small. I was a French prostitute in one of my past lives. I was a lumberjack in one of my past lives. And all of these really kept me very practical, very in the body, not ever actually creating more. And in this lifetime, I'm really the embodiment of all of those things. I'm very woodsy, if you know me. I'm that lumberjack, very much tried and true. I'm also very sensual. I'm also very magical. So this is the lifetime, and I feel like this is the lifetime for most of us to really start embodying who and what we truly are. Hey, Lynn. Lynn, can you feel me? I'm like right down the street, I'm sure. Oh, Lynn, sorry, other Lynn. Hello, Lynn. Hello, Serena. So this is really the embodiment of all of our lifetimes. And what we're really supposed to be doing is learning the lessons from all of these lifetimes that we've lived. If you don't believe in past lives, then all of the generations, these are also passed down generationally. So these are not just, if the metaphysical past life thing is too much for you, know that you get these passed down through your DNA as well. Double whammy. It is coming from your grandparents, your great-grandparents, your great-great-grandparents, 7 generations prior to you of this stuff being passed down. And this is really the time period of really creating space for the integration of all of these. I don't know. So I've been talking to so many amazing magical people during this quarantine and this pandemic time, and they're dissociating, which means that they are checking out. Okay. So if this is something that you've been doing during this time, during your life, if this is a coping skill that you have received, know that you are not alone, but know that this is really going to be changing. There is coming a time where those who are dissociating are going to start be checking out of their bodies physically. This is happening at an exponential rate. You can see it all over the place. And so know that this is really what you are being called to do, is to check in, to integrate into all of you, all of yourselves. because you have so many different sides of you. And I'm sure you feel like you're, maybe putting on different parts of yourself when you go and interact. You have a part that you deal with when you're with your family. You have a part when you're at your work. You maybe have a part of yourself that only comes out on those special occasions, maybe when you're on vacation and they're really fun and vibrant. So this is really a calling to integrate all of ourselves. Hello, Katerina. Hey, Steph. So grateful you guys are here. If you have questions that you would like answers to, if you want to communicate with your higher self, your guides, the ascended masters, and most importantly, our magical mother, the divine feminine, I'm being very much called to pull her through and be the embodiment of her. And when I created my business many years ago as Magical Mothering, I had no idea that this is what I was going to be called to do. And it has taken me almost 7 years, which is exactly how long it is supposed to take in order to fully become your higher self and what you are being called to do. So know if you've been on this personal growth journey or on this journey for quite some time, unraveling what your spirituality is, connecting metaphysical, know that these processes sometimes take time to unravel. So I want to get to, let me see, the comment was, Robert Tucker asked, everlasting energy. How do I get everlasting energy? And I really want to highlight the plants right now. If you have seen really only 7 years, yes, I became a Reiki master 11 years ago. So that was the original awakening, but I was called into working beyond the 7 chakras 7 years ago. So a few different steps, I guess, it has taken. And so through this journey, there has been a lot of people that are wondering, how do I get my energy up? There's so much depression happening. There's so much heaviness. There is such a darkness. I worked with somebody yesterday and they were literally being weighted down with the darkness. It was pooling around their feet. I'm feeling that some of you have that feeling right now, that there's very much a heaviness that is happening in your life. And to really create the energy and the lightness that we're all hungry for, it can happen definitely on a spiritual level, but it has to happen on a physical level as well. There's a lot of people that I've worked with who are very spiritually minded and they stay in the ethers, but without bringing it into the practical body and without really integrating the body, that dissociation continues to happen. You end up spiraling around and flitting around in the spiritual dimension, unable to really integrate it into your physical body, still having health concerns or still having things happening, misalignments that are happening in the body. If you're only doing things esoterically or metaphysically, there needs to be a practical aspect. Hey, Paul. And this is where the plants come in. The plants are such our friends. So that was a big message from the divine feminine. Our magical mother, the divine feminine, really wanted to speak truth in the fact that Mother Earth is her physical self. I found this kind of mind-blowing. I know it seems really simple, and the Earth chakra actually has its own chakra. It's below the root chakra, chakra 0. And I've been working a lot with this chakra 0, this Earth chakra. And Earth chakra 0 is actually connected to chakra 12, which is the divine feminine. And within them, the physical earth and the divine feminine spiritual earth, we are held in our complete growing. It's time to live the spiritual through embodiment. Absolutely, Katerina. That's exactly what I'm saying. It really, really is, because our words, the metaphysical movement, the manifestation, the law of attraction has been such words. It's been these embodiments and thoughts and images, and that's not that's not enough anymore. We really need to take action. And I was talking with somebody again yesterday. I had quite a few calls and sessions yesterday. I was talking with another amazing magical woman yesterday, and we got onto this topic of, she goes, I am going to do some meditation on this. And I said, how about instead of meditating on it, how about you create a very, an outline? How about you actually embody it? Physically walk around your space and see what each person in your space needs and wants and what their desires. Get creative, get the materials, and it was such a different feeling from being in this kind of lost etheric space of, I'm going to meditate on that, to how about you just get your ass in gear and like do it. Get the materials, get the supplies, be in the flow. If you're feeling creative, do it. I hear from so many people about this aspect of like, well, I've had this dream, or I've been thinking about this, or this keeps coming through, this vision keeps coming through, this science, this aspect is coming through, this vision, this desire, this, I've been doing my affirmations. Those are all fantastic. But what they're doing is simply keeping your brain busy so that it can't sabotage you as much. So, good morning, Lorraine. So, Katerina, science is coming along too. The earthing, yes, absolutely. So there's this aspect of really needing to embody. And that's really what I'm being called to do, is embody the divine feminine. And I feel like through that, I am really meant to encourage you personally to start embodying your magic, your gifts, your amazingness. Because there's so much happening in the world, and it's happening so quickly in this really convoluted, crazy kind of way. And I don't see, so I want to give you a little bit of my philosophy. I feel that the universe is always working for us. The universe is not broken up into positive and negative. If you've seen a sign, symbol, or synchronicity, it is not a positive or a negative. It is simply a sign, symbol, and synchronicity. They are there for you, to guide you, to lead you, to know that your higher self, your guides are speaking to you. Okay, so I really want you, there's so much like, look up the animal things. What do they mean? Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's good. That's not, the spirit world has never been physical beings, most of them. Most of the physical, most of the spirit guides and things that we have never actually been physical earth people. So they don't quite know the earth struggle. They don't quite know this like yin yang thing that happens with us. They don't know duality. So when you're getting signs, symbols, and synchronicities, they're not meant to be a duality. They're not meant to be, oh, that sign was good. Oh, that sign was bad. It was literally, hey, we're here. We're guiding you. Come to us. Yes, this lesson may be difficult, but it's not positive or negative. Yes, this lesson may be trying, not positive or negative. Yes, this lesson may be a struggle for you, not positive or negative. Because I was talking with so much, oh, thank you, Katerina. Yes. So there is so much of what we see, say, and do is really revolved around, am I getting a positive sign from my angels? I hear people say this, and it's like, no, that's not what the signs and synchronicities mean. That's the angels don't send you, maybe the angels, maybe you're like, oh, the angels only send positive messages. Everything only sends messages. There's only messages. It's our judgments, it's our unconditional love and our unacceptance and our control that makes things be positive or negative. So let's see. Dawn says, I want to be magical for myself and family, but without friends and activities, I have no sense of pride or self even. Dawn, you are such a giver. I know you're so wrapped up in being able to give and serve and be of such service. I love that. I can't find the effort to help, and I'm not doing well. Dawn, thank you so much for sharing. So I'm a recovering overgiver. I am a recovering people pleaser. And it's not that those are bad things. Those are what the divine feminine is, an overgiver. Look at nature. Look at the abundance of nature. The divine feminine is a people pleaser. She loves putting flowers for absolutely no reason than to give honey to the bees, to make sweet nectar, and to make beauty in the world. So this is such a divine feminine. I see, Dawn, you as such a representation of the divine feminine, such a beautiful, caring, amazingly generous individual. And what an incredible comment. So I would really love for you to start creating, actively creating space for what your gifts do. Because I feel that you're coming up against a wall. I know we've talked briefly about things that you've done and services and things like this. And there is so much that you can offer. And I know the virtual world is very dissociating. It's very separate. But I feel like the women in the mountain community specifically really need your magic right now. You created so much space. And if you were to create something, some sort of encouragement. You are such an encourager. If you were to create some sort of weekly Zoom where the moms can hop on and you can simply encourage them, you can share with them how great they're doing, or share an activity. If you could create, I have a friend, Ashley, she's amazing. She's creating little packages of activities for parents. So she'll have like sensory bins, but that are really portable and travelable and that she can just send home. So she's making Play-Doh sensory stuff with little things going on in them. And I know this is what like some of you're so great at doing talk time and things like this. So really creating space to help or encourage moms of how to play, of how to interact, of how to connect. It might, sorry, my page just blew away. Your ability to connect on is so effortless. This is such a key point, okay? Your ability to serve, your magical abilities come effortlessly. If you are trying or having to do or having to work really hard, you are not using your innate magical abilities. So Dawn, your magical abilities come so effortlessly to you to share, to serve, to give. Create a way to create that happening in a space that is accessible now. Or start creating maybe some new spaces, some different ideas, some ways to really integrate and pull people in. So I hope that helped. I hope you're amazing. And I know this has been a struggle. So thank you. Thank you for sharing your journey. And that's kind of just what came through. So, hey, Francis, if anybody else would like to ask a question or receive a message from the Divine Feminine, please make a comment if you'd like to hop on. I'll work on it today. Yay! Okay, perfect. If anybody would like to hop onto the Zoom and actually go on like the Zoom recording, I can actually put you on camera and things like that. Hello, Wendy. So the other aspect I have, so I'm going to actually be starting, I needed a direction. Okay, good. I have been very much called to do a year-long mentorship with a handful of women. I don't know if one of them is on the call right now, but if you are, I'm so excited. I don't have faces yet, which sometimes I do have faces of the women that I'm going to be working with for the future. The goal is to start this year long. It's actually going to be 13 months, and it's going to be going through literally the ascension process through the higher chakras of not just becoming your magical self, but literally integrating all of your past selves, your generational themes, and really living your purpose in the most magical way there is. Hello, Claire. So I wanted to just throw that out there. There's a 13th month. It's called Marketing Your Magical Self. This is very much about creating a sustainable business lifestyle from your innate gifts. This is very much about creating sustainability in all aspects, true wealth and wholeness, and marketing. I had such a weird word with having such a business-minded word in this. I was like, really, mother? This is, you know, the magical mother, the divine magical mother. Our magical mother was like, yes, marketing. Because you know what? It's time that the magical people know how to market themselves. And I went, oh my gosh, yeah, like this, the marketing aspects pushes me out of the business world as a magical being. And I went, duh, this is exactly where we need to be, truly integrated into the business realm in such a practical and functional way, because the magical people sabotage themselves more than any other business people that I know. Yoga teachers, spiritual teachers, ministers, with the unity churches, some health goal, the health coaches, the health goals, the witches out there. Like these are the people that have so much light to bring to the world. And the light workers of the world, I don't care what name you go by. If you're a Reiki master, it doesn't matter. If you are a bringer of light, if the majority of the time you are, embodying and creating a space for healing and growth, either within yourself or others, I consider you a light worker. Anybody that is interested in self-help books and personal growth is a light worker. And some of them have a lot of embodying and integrating to do. Some of them are just so close. So I'm really being called to share very intimate space with a handful of women over the next 13 months, starting in June. We will start summer solstice, and we will kick it off with the heat of the summer and very masculine energy of like literally bringing that fire into us. And then going through, I'm planning on doing 4 retreats throughout the year, including in this program. One of the retreats is going to be crystal mining in Arkansas. And from health is my light. I love it. Hi, Raina. And so one of the retreats is going to be crystal mining. And the crystals that we mine in Arkansas, people can travel and come stay. We will do an extended 4 or 5 days together. We will literally harvest and pull the crystals out of the earth ourselves. We will take those crystals, program those crystals, literally create a higher knowledge from the crystals that we pull out of the earth ourselves. We will do healing and channeling and all that kind of amazing goodness stuff through this whole retreat. The other location that is coming to me is Sedona. We will actually go to the vortexes of Sedona, stay on the land itself. And while being on those vortexes, we will learn how to make a vortex out of our own body. I've done this. I know how to do this. Through these vortexes, you can then channel in and pull in the ascended masters, guides, spirit aspects. And another location that my husband actually brought up is doing one in West Yellowstone and doing one in Yellowstone. Which just makes so much sense. It's so alive there. And then I think there was one other location, and it's eluding me right now. It'll be a surprise. So if this is something that you're interested in, really having a master class, a way to really learn, dive deep, get one-on-one support to create magical journeys together, to travel around the country and meet up and explore these magical places in the world and literally become an embodiment of your higher self, to serve and share your gifts in a way that you are going to change the world. I invite you to reach out to me because this is what's happening. So I'm very excited. Let's see. What is a light worker? Do you think there is really light and dark? The darkness is such a place of purification and pushes us to healing. Yes. Okay. So I use the term light worker simply because it's now more of a mainstream word. I do believe in speaking in words that the masses understand. I do believe in using words that are mainstream. Despite what I was just talking about, the duality of things from the spirit realm, I do believe in light and dark. I do a lot of dark shadow work. I do a lot of trauma work. And what's really fantastic about the aspects of light worker is that is what you are. You're light. You feel a lightness. I was just talking about when you eat wild plants, when you eat plants that are grown from a garden, when you pluck wild plants from the garden, you feel light. And this, I feel like, is what the embodiment of a light worker is bringing that light, that knowledge, that awareness, that insight, that envision, being in source. So that is where I love that word, light worker. Yeah, great question though. So Claire, balance with the divine masculine. Sorry about all the, Wes, absolutely. Yeah, I will message you. Claire is saying, balance the divine masculine and feminine energy is so important for all the light workers, the yin yang, raising the vibration. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, Wes, I don't know if shaman's the right word. There's so many words nowadays, but I would love to have a conversation with you and see if what I do resonates with you. And yeah, and anybody else, if you're curious about this, I do this because I enjoy chatting and I enjoy talking and I enjoy connecting. So if you're interested in learning more or understanding more or figuring out if I'm the right person to have a conversation with even, and YouTube feels overwhelming, please just send me a message and say, hey, I'm interested in what you have, but I have no idea if it's the right choice for me. Beautiful. We'll get on the phone and we'll have a conversation for a few minutes, and I'll help. This is what I'm here for. This is what I'm sharing. So I know it can feel really overwhelming to find somebody in the world that actually feels like you can connect with, because I've worked with a lot of healers and coaches, and so many of the healers and coaches that are out there are this. You can interact with them, through their video recordings. And for me, I am so intimate. I can't separate. I can't just do this. It has to be real. 1:30 in the morning here in Australia. Oh, thank you, Katerina, for hanging out. Yes, sleep well. Thank you for the amazing contribution to this Facebook Live, Katerina. I appreciate you. Sleep well. Bye-bye. Yeah, Wes, I've always felt a strong calling, but I've never taken the steps to move forward. Oh my goodness, Wes, you are truly, truly magical. You are a magical, magical man. And it comes through your artwork. It comes through your hands. You create so much magic in the world. So I'd be happy and honored to chat more about the process, because it's very apparent the magic that you have and hold, and that comes through you in the physical realm. So I can't even imagine what is lingering in the spiritual aspects of you and all that you are. All right, so let's see. Is there any other questions? Or is Catriana? Thank you, Catriana. I appreciate your. Yes, thank you. All right. And so if anybody has anything else that they would like to receive a message about, or to get guidance or direction, please feel free to take a moment and write a comment. Something that came through really strongly today was this aspect of abundance. Abundance and fear. Hey, Stacy. So there's two things going on big time right now. And one of them is this aspect of abundance. This other is this aspect of fear. So for me, fear is a judgment, okay? Fear is us being our most animalistic part of our physical being. Fear is what we are born with. When we are a baby, we go through all of the animal phases in utero, and when we come out feeling a very animalistic sensation of fear. As we grow and become a baby, anger becomes another emotion. Happiness is not quite there, but pleasure is. So I wanted you to take notice that pleasure is a very animalistic experience. Happiness and joy are higher spiritual emotions. So as you go through your day, if you feel like happiness is kind of eluding you or constantly evading you, you have a brief moment of happiness. You're actually experiencing only a brief moment of pleasure. And pleasure is not a higher spiritual aspect. Joy, bliss, those are higher spiritual emotions. So, hi Vicki. And so I want to touch on emotions for a moment. Fear is part of our reptilian brain. Fight, flight, or freeze is all a part of the fear response. And so when we really go through life, I want you to see what you're doing. When you are in fear, you either fight, protests, Facebook posts. I'm gonna stir up a lot of shit right now. Fight, flight, you get off of Facebook, you walk away, you be quiet, you're silenced, or freeze. The deer in the headlights. So a lot of freeze response is due to dissociation. When you freeze, you're checking out. You're not in your body anymore. I was sharing with a client of mine yesterday that when she's dissociating, to actually let her body know. When you're getting triggered and when you feel that initial trigger, I've worked a lot with her. So if you need more support, like if you're getting triggered by Facebook posts, if you're getting triggered by what's going on in the world, if you are getting a lot of emotional reactions, there are things that you can physically do to reprogram your mind so that your body has a different response. So I do a lot of hypnosis and neuro-linguistic programming to literally help shift the brain so that it can get out of that fight, flight, or freeze response so that it can actually move forward into a response that feels more integrated versus you just leaving. So I would like for you, look up the book Existential Kink. You'll love it. Okay, I will. There's an aspect of, I want you to do some integration work from this. Oh my God, I'm so triggered. I knew it was gonna happen, even with somebody on here. I know. So, do you know, I get triggered. I get very afraid of triggering individuals. And so I know that some things that I say are very triggering. And before I say them, I get like this thing in my body and it's like, nope, that's what's supposed to come out. So I really want you to do some integration work this week of seeing where you're fighting, where you're flighting, or what you are running away from, or what you are freezing in or dissociating. Okay, if you're watching this, do the work. I'm sharing this. Well, that happens. Yes, I'm sharing all of this and sharing this information freely because I want you to do the work. I want you to take a moment outside of Facebook and do the deep dive, do the deep work. If you can't find space or time to do it on your own, or it feels overwhelming, or there's just so much to dig through, please message me. Let's set up a session and just have a session where we can start digging through the things together and creating some organization to them and getting some real results. Because if you're interested in this kind of stuff, it's because you're interested in results and you're interested in change and you're interested in becoming your magical self. I want to just say hello, Christopher and George and Kimberly, welcome. So what I'm doing, if you have a message that you would like to receive from the Divine Feminine or your spirit guides or anything else that you feel like might be coming through, please just write it. Yesterday I was doing a session, and while I led that person to meet her higher self, she had said that she'd been really missing her dad, and her dad was actually right there with her higher self, and she was able to have a conversation with her dad, who has passed on to the other side. And it was really amazing because I don't, hello from George, North Carolina, I believe, hello. It was really interesting. I don't consider myself a psychic. Once she was able to see her dad, I could then see him as well. So what I do, I'm a seer, so I can see what people's visions are, what their goals, and I can lead them into a vision in that aspect. So it is a bit shamanic in that aspect. So meditation helped me to get into that space. Yes. So I want to really create space for awareness while we're here. There is an awareness of fear, and fear is often in our gut, and sadness resides in our heart. I did a Facebook Live the other day about that. You can watch it, but if you have any sort of deep sadness in your life, I do see that as darkness. There's very much levels, layers. I'm using words that kind of just to communicate in a way that people can understand. The darkness and the heaviness of the body does not need to be there. In fact, I led somebody through yesterday a technique of literally how to remove the darkness, heaviness, sadness, depression from her body, remove it, hold it in the palm of her hand, and pack it away into a suitcase. And she was like, I'm empty. Where did my sadness go? But empty, I said, now you actually get to fill that emptiness with something that you do want. She may not be able to do that right away, but at least it gives her the opportunity to feel and to think of something other than just being sad. Sometimes we have to literally physically remove the things, that's why going on a vacation feels so good, because you literally remove the darkness and heaviness and things that are weighing you down while you're in another location. If you stay too long, you're just going to pull all those things with you to your new location though, because wherever you are, there you will be. And your journey is your journey. It doesn't matter what physical location it is. Okay, another triggering thing that I'm going to say. Maybe I'll just do trigger warnings before I say them. Trigger warning. It doesn't matter your location, okay? It doesn't matter your relationship. It doesn't matter your physical health. It doesn't matter what your experiences are. It doesn't matter what any of those things are. Your personal journey is your personal journey, and you can do them regardless of your circumstances. Okay, end of trigger warning. So, with saying that, I also want to encourage you. I get so many women who say, I can't possibly do this because I have children. I have 2 children, very young children. I started off with them when they were very young, babies. Oh, I can't possibly travel and sell everything. Why not? Well, I've got this, I have that, I have this. It doesn't matter. Destiny, hello. There's a lot of people that make up excuses based on their circumstances. Your personal development and you growing in your magical gifts, they don't care about your circumstances. If you need, I didn't have the money to hire a coach that cost tens of thousands of dollars, but you know what? I felt like that's what I had to do in order to grow to the next level. If I wanted to charge that amount of money, I had to spend that amount of money. If I wanted to create a business that could serve millions of individuals, I had to work with somebody who was serving millions of individuals. Does that make sense? We need to find people that we resonate with so that we can truly evolve and become who we were meant to become. And that's why I want you to do the integration work of really looking at, are you fighting? Are you flighting? Or are you freezing in any situations right now? And the opposite of that is being neutral, being in unconditional love and neutrality, complete acceptance and non-judgment. This is more of a Buddhist, Taoist aspect. It's very Christian as well. Jesus unconditionally loved everybody that he met. This is very a universal concept of, if you're not in fight, flight, or freeze, then you're in neutrality and acceptance, completely in your magical abilities and gifts, serving at the highest level that you can. I don't see it as black and white. I don't see it as either or. There's many moments throughout the day that I'm in fight, flight, or freeze, and then the next second I'm my magical self sharing. So it's not like suddenly you become this thing all the time and your humanness just disappears. That's not what I'm saying. It's very much an awareness. Oh, look, I'm in fear right now. And acknowledging that. And when you acknowledge it, suddenly your brain goes, oh, do I want to be there? And then you can start actually dissecting and integrating once again, because in fear, you go into your limbic system, which there's no rationale in your limbic system. There's fight, flight, or freeze. There is no cognitive abilities to function. There is no logical thinking. There is no creativity. So I really want you to notice when you're in that limbic system of fight, flight, or freeze, which is fear, or when you're being really creative. Maybe you're outside gardening and you can just be and feel the neutrality, the peace, or just be present. Being present is very much being out of the limbic system, okay? And being in a space of neutrality. All right. Does anybody else have anything that they would like for me to share, or questions, or conditions, circumstances that you're like, no, my circumstance is totally different and I could never do what I want to do with my circumstance? And I don't know, like, I just see that there's so many circumstances that individuals have overcame through, and I get that it's a struggle. I choose struggle a lot, and this was actually a conditioning that has been generationally passed down to me, and I had to learn that I no longer was going to choose struggle. I was going to choose freedom. And every time I make a choice, I choose freedom. What would give me the most amount of freedom? Not out of fear, not out of judgment, not out of opinion, but what would give me the most amount of fear? What could I stay completely neutral in? What could I just allow? And I'm not giving up any of my freedoms, because guess what? My freedoms come from within me. There are prisoners that are in prison cells that are more free than most individuals outside of them. There are people who are so completely free because their minds are not their prison anymore. Our minds are what keep us imprisoned. Our minds keep us trapped. Our minds are the hell that we create while we're alive. If you can reprogram your mind to make it into a space of peace and joy, and to access your higher self, to create and live a space of divine wisdom, divine knowing, this is freedom. This is allowing. This is why I do what I do, to help people get there. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for, and thank you, Destiny, by the way. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy lives to check in, to wave, to say hello. I've thoroughly enjoyed our time together. This recording will be up on the Magical Mothering YouTube channel, as well as in the Magical Mothering Facebook group. Sandy, I block myself from accepting or relaxing enough to accept. Do you feel safe? Okay, that is my question for you. If you do not feel safe, you cannot receive. You cannot accept. So this is where a lot of money aspects comes in. This is where a lot of sabotage aspects come in, is not feeling safe, of really being in this space of like, nope, I gotta be on guard, I gotta control, I gotta keep this all contained and held together. If you're constantly trying to hold yourself together and keep yourself all there all the time, then yes, it's very difficult to receive, because in receiving, you have to let go. You might not know what you're receiving. You have to be completely open. And safe in what way? Do you feel safe? Do you feel safe in your skin? Do you feel safe in your environment? Do you feel safe? I know that there's been, is there traumas that have not been healed, that are creating it so that you feel that you have to like keep yourself kind of blocked or hidden, or things like that. And in that, there is very much an aspect of when we're receiving, this receiving is a sacral chakra issue. So the sacral has to do with creativity. It has to do with receiving, birthing, money. It has to do with sex. So all of those things are wrapped up in the sacral chakra. And when the sacral chakra is overactive, it's usually very controlling, tight, restricting. It can either be very sexually active or sexually dormant. So there's aspects. A lot of what I teach is I go through a process of helping people open up their chakras, and then I actually teach them how to close their chakras so they don't become overactive. Because sometimes an open chakra is so overwhelming for an empath, because if you open up your sacral chakra, you're gonna start receiving from every single person that you come in contact with, from the grocery store to the gas station. We're not interacting with a lot of people, but guess what they are giving off? Not very good mojo right now. So if you're an empath walking around, you are getting all of that from everybody. So I actually have to go to bed early, get extra sleep, do my work, and know that the next day when I'm going to the grocery store, that I'm going to be receiving a lot. And I'm doing a lot of healing work with a lot of individuals. I'm walking around Walmart through my chakras and through my higher self. And this is just what happens. So there could be this, thanks Vicki for being here. This could be this aspect of, if your chakra is wide open, it could be that there is this aspect of not feeling safe to be creative, not feeling safe to be yourself, not feeling safe to express yourself. Hello, Janet, so good to see you. So explore that a little bit. Where are you in terms of that sacral chakra? Creativity, sexuality, sensuality, money, all of those are wrapped up in that sacral chakra. And know that if any one of those areas is way out of whack, then that is your sacral chakra kind of yelling at you, saying, hey, this, usually when we have a chakra really, really yelling at us, it's the chakra below it that is like not functioning. So your root chakra, the reason I asked if you felt safe is your root chakra is most likely has some trauma to it. Root chakra has to do with any sort of childhood issues, trauma, experiences in ages before 7. Hello, Lonice. So yes, hopefully that helps bring a little bit of insight or messaging to your question. Feel free to message me if you want to work on any of those things deeper. I have done some inner child things during Facebook Lives and things like that. I have some of those in my YouTube channel if you're interested in checking those out. And from there, we can go from there. All right. Does anybody else have any thing that they want? I was going to head out and then I got a question. So I don't want to leave anybody finishing typing up and then just in the live. Yes. Okay, good. Okay. So this was fantastic. This is going to be happening more often. I'm feeling the need that I'm going to have to make some pre-recorded videos and things like that as these messages are coming. Yes, please. Okay. As these messages are coming through, feeling like some pre-recorded recordings on my YouTube channel may just have to happen simply because I feel like this needs to be shared. So hopefully you guys are able to get some insight, and I will have the recording up shortly, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Have such a blessed day. Bye-bye.